Chapter 1, The Invisible Shield, Defending Against the Inner Enemy. In the midst of a heated meeting, a colleague's sharp critique pierces the room. Your chest tightens, fists clench, and a surge of anger rises. The immediate urge is to retaliate, to defend your stance. But then, a thought surfaces: is this within my control? This moment of introspection is the essence of Stoic practice. Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher, emphasized that it's not events themselves that disturb us, but our interpretations of them. He stated, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This principle underscores the importance of distinguishing between external events and our internal responses. Modern psychology, particularly cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, aligns with this Stoic insight. CBT posits that our thoughts influence our emotions and behaviors. By identifying and challenging negative thought patterns, we can alter our emotional responses and actions. Consider the earlier scenario: instead of reacting impulsively to criticism, you pause and reflect. You recognize that the critique is an external event, and your emotional response is within your control. By reframing the situation, you maintain composure and respond constructively. Practical exercise: building your mental shield. Pause and breathe. When faced with a triggering event, take a deep breath to center yourself. Identify the thought. Ask yourself, what am I thinking right now? Challenge the thought: is this thought based on facts or assumptions? Reframe the thought. Replace negative interpretations with more balanced perspectives. Choose your response. Decide on a response that aligns with your values and long-term goals. By consistently practicing this exercise, you fortify your mind against external disturbances, cultivating resilience and inner peace. In the words of Epictetus, we cannot control the external events around us, we can control ourselves. Embrace this wisdom, and let your inner strength be your shield against life's inevitable challenges. Shall we proceed to Chapter 2, The Master of Silence, Harnessing the Power of Non-Reaction? Chapter 2, The Master of Silence, Harnessing the Power of Non-Reaction. A sarcastic comment. A passive-aggressive message. A provocation on social media. The usual reaction. Type back. Snap. Defend your pride. But the Stoic remains still. Unshaken. Silent. Because silence is not weakness, it's power. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. That realization gives birth to an uncommon discipline, the ability to not react. In a world addicted to reaction, the one who pauses becomes a master. Why is silence so powerful? Because every impulsive response is a loss of control. When you lash out in anger or rush to prove your point, you're no longer leading, you're following the emotions. Silence, on the other hand, creates space. It allows for reason to rise above reflex. From a psychological perspective, this is known as response inhibition, a skill developed in emotional intelligence. Studies show that people who delay their response under stress demonstrate higher resilience, better decision-making, and stronger relationships. Let's make it practical. 3 ways to master the art of Stoic silence. Use the 3-second rule. Before responding, count slowly to 3. Let the emotional wave pass. This brief pause breaks the cycle of reactive behavior. Practice the inner dialogue. Ask yourself, will this reaction serve my goals? Or is it just ego defending itself? Reframe silence as strength. Remember, not responding is a decision. It's not avoidance, it's strategy. Think of a warrior. He doesn't draw his sword at every insult. He chooses his battles wisely. You must do the same, with your words. When you stay silent in the face of insult, you rob the aggressor of power. Their arrows fall harmlessly to the ground, and you remain untouchable. Silence disarms. It shifts the dynamic. It forces others to confront themselves, because you gave them nothing to fight. As Seneca warned, he who is quick to anger lives at the mercy of others. But the Stoic? He holds his peace like a shield. So the next time someone tries to pull you into chaos, remember, your reaction is your responsibility. Your silence, your weapon. Chapter 3, The Art of Disdain, Choosing What to Ignore. Notifications buzz. A stranger criticizes you online. Someone throws shade in a meeting. Most people feel the urge to reply, explain, justify. But not you. Not the Stoic. You don't fight every battle. You choose your war. In a world obsessed with validation and visibility, ignoring the irrelevant has become a superpower. Seneca, with brutal clarity, said, "Nothing is more contemptible than the contempt of others being a concern." He understood this ancient truth: what you focus on, you empower. What you ignore, you weaken. Every day we are bombarded with noise, criticism, gossip, provocations. If you absorb it all, you drown in it. But if you choose wisely what enters your mind, you stay light, focused, and dangerous. Stoic disdain is not arrogance, it's discipline. It's not about pretending nothing matters. It's about recognizing that not everything should. Disdain, when used wisely, is the filter that protects your mental clarity. Here's how to apply it. 3 tactical filters to master the art of Stoic disdain. Ask, will this matter in a year? Most of what angers or distracts us is irrelevant in the long run. Use time as your perspective weapon. What feels huge today often vanishes tomorrow. Check, is this aligned with my values? If it's not helping you build discipline, peace, or purpose, why give it attention? Detach, is this an external event or a core threat? You don't have to emotionally invest in every message, mistake, or mood. You have the right to ignore. This emotional detachment isn't coldness, it's clarity. It's refusing to let minor issues drain your major energy. Modern psychology supports this mindset. The concept of attention economy tells us, your focus is currency. Spend it only on what brings real returns. So the next time someone tries to bait you into drama or draw you into their chaos, stop. Ask yourself, is this fight worth my peace? Probably not. Walk away with calm. That's power. Your attention is your fortress. Guard it. Chapter 4, The Unshakable Horizon, Thinking Beyond the Now. A bad day at work. A failed project. A breakup. A betrayal. In the moment, it feels permanent, like your world is collapsing. But zoom out. Look at your life from above, as if from a mountain peak. Suddenly, what seemed like a disaster becomes just a detail. This is the power of long-term perspective. It is what makes the Stoic horizon unshakable. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Time is a river, a violent current of events, glimpsed once and gone forever." His point? Everything flows. Nothing stays. Pain, joy, success, failure, they all pass. The Stoic learns to stand still amid the current by lifting his gaze. He sees beyond today's storm. Perspective isn't passive, it's a discipline. When something feels overwhelming, the Stoic doesn't collapse. He asks, will this matter in 5 years? That simple question resets your emotional scale. It reminds you that most suffering is magnified by proximity. Modern psychology echoes this with the temporal distancing technique. Research shows that imagining yourself in the future, looking back at the present moment, helps regulate intense emotions. So how do you apply this in practice? 3 tools to anchor yourself in a long-term mindset. The 5x5 rule. If it won't matter in 5 years, don't spend more than 5 minutes upset about it. Future self-visualization. Close your eyes. Picture yourself 5 years from now, calm, successful, stronger. Would this moment still have power over you? Probably not. Write the storm. Journal your current frustration. Then write how your future self overcame it. Turn anxiety into narrative. You become the author, not the victim. Every storm passes. Every scar heals. And if you hold your line, you emerge stronger on the other side. The Stoic sees setbacks as temporary. He does not get crushed by them, he learns, adapts, and endures. So the next time life hits hard, don't collapse. Rise above. Expand your horizon. The longer your view, the steadier your soul. Chapter 5, The Weight of Expectation, Freeing Yourself from the Illusion of Control. You did everything right. You worked hard, stayed loyal, planned carefully. Still, the promotion didn't come. The relationship ended. The plan failed. Frustration follows, because deep down, you expected a certain result. And when reality doesn't match that expectation, suffering is born. This is the trap, expecting life to obey your will. But the Stoic breaks free from this illusion. Marcus Aurelius advised, begin each day by telling yourself, today I shall meet with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, not as pessimism, but as preparation. You're not entitled to a perfect day. You're only responsible for how you respond to what the day brings. Expectation is a cage. Acceptance is freedom. In Stoicism, there's a radical shift in mindset, focus only on what is truly within your control, your thoughts, your actions, your decisions. Everything else, outcomes, other people, events, is not yours to command. Modern psychology supports this with the concept of locus of control. People with an internal locus, those who focus on what they can influence, are more resilient, less anxious, and perform better in life. Why? Because they don't waste energy on the uncontrollable. Here's how to break the chains of expectation. Detach from the outcome. Do the work. Prepare. Show up fully. But let go of needing a specific result. Let your satisfaction come from effort, not outcome. Expect reality, not perfection. Assume obstacles. Expect delays. People will disappoint you. That's not cynicism, it's strategy. You're less shaken when you're mentally ready. Rethink fairness. The universe doesn't owe you anything. Thinking otherwise sets you up for bitterness. Replace entitlement with endurance. Ask yourself, am I focusing on what I can control, or trying to bend reality to my will? The Stoic accepts what is, acts on what can be, and lets go of the rest. Let go of your grip on how things should be. Grasp firmly only what you can shape, your own character, your own discipline. The more you release expectations, the lighter you become. And with less weight, you move faster, think clearer, and endure longer. Chapter 6, The Power of Cold, Finding Peace in Discomfort. It's 6 a.m. The alarm goes off. You hesitate, staring at the cold floor, the cold shower, the cold responsibilities of the day. Your instinct whispers, stay comfortable. But comfort is a liar. It weakens you slowly, without warning. The Stoic does the opposite, he steps into the cold. Because the cold is not the enemy. It's the trainer. Seneca often practiced voluntary discomfort. He would sleep on the floor, wear rough clothes, or fast, not because he had to, but because he chose to. Why? To remind himself that he needed less than he thought. To prove that fear of discomfort is often worse than the discomfort itself. Modern science backs this up. Studies on stress inoculation show that exposing yourself to mild, controlled discomfort improves your resilience to future stress. It builds psychological toughness. Discomfort is not punishment, it's preparation. You become anti-fragile, not just surviving chaos, but growing because of it. Here's how to integrate this Stoic principle into your daily life. 3 cold practices to forge mental steel. Take cold showers. Start with 30 seconds. Don't resist it, breathe into it. The cold trains your willpower. You don't take the cold shower because it feels good. You take it because it doesn't. Embrace hard conversations. Discomfort isn't always physical. Facing truths, setting boundaries, having tough talks, this too is training. Don't run. Step in. Voluntary sacrifice. Fast for a day. Skip the elevator. Give up coffee. Sleep on the floor. These small denials teach you self-mastery, and show you how little you actually need. Remember, the goal isn't to suffer. It's to dominate your relationship with suffering. The Stoic doesn't seek pain. But when pain comes, he's ready. He's trained. Because every cold moment you endure is another layer of armor. Another proof that you are not soft. Not fragile. Not weak. As Epictetus said, difficulties show a man to himself. So the next time you're tempted to choose ease, comfort, or safety, ask yourself, what would my stronger self do right now? Then do exactly that. Chapter 7, The Value of Indifference. Not everything is about you. Someone cuts you off in traffic. A colleague doesn't greet you. A friend cancels plans last minute. Immediately, thoughts flood your mind, they're disrespecting me. What did I do? Do they not value me? This reflex, to take everything personally, is a silent destroyer of peace. But the Stoic knows the truth, most things people do are not about you at all. They're about them, their fears, their stress, their mood, their wounds. Seneca wrote, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality." Our mind, if unchecked, creates offense where there is none. Indifference is not weakness, it's strength under control. To remain emotionally unmoved by small offenses is not apathy. It's precision. It's maturity. It's choosing where your energy goes. In psychology, this is linked to depersonalization of events, a cognitive skill where you detach your identity from external occurrences. It prevents emotional overreaction and promotes rational behavior. So how do you develop this Stoic indifference? 3 practices to master the power of not taking things personally. Ask, what else could this mean? Instead of assuming an insult, explore other possibilities. Maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe it has nothing to do with you. Most of the time, it doesn't. Pause before responding. Create space. That gap between action and reaction is where Stoic virtue lives. In that space, choose calm over chaos. Anchor in objective reality. Don't let assumptions become truth. Unless you have clear evidence, treat your emotional interpretations as just that, interpretations. Remember, you don't need to attend every emotional invitation sent your way. You have the right to remain unfazed. And if someone is trying to provoke you, the greatest punishment you can give them is silence. No reaction. No validation. In doing so, you send a clear message, I am not yours to control. The Stoic holds a calm center in a chaotic world. His power lies not in how much he controls, but in how little controls him. Chapter 8, The Poison of Comparison. Keep your eyes on your own path. You open your phone. He just bought a new car. She's traveling again. That guy your age is already a millionaire. Someone else just got married, promoted, or fit. And you? Suddenly, everything you were proud of starts to feel small. That's the poison of comparison. It turns progress into shame. Gratitude into envy. Focus into distraction. Marcus Aurelius warned, do not waste what remains of your life in speculating about others. Why? Because comparison steals your most sacred resource, attention. Every time you compare your chapter 3 to someone else's chapter 10, you undermine your own journey. Modern psychology calls this social comparison theory. The more we compare, the more our self-esteem fluctuates. Especially in the age of curated digital lives, comparison often leads to anxiety, depression, and paralysis. But the Stoic plays a different game. He's not competing with others. He's competing with who he was yesterday. Because that's the only race that matters. Here's how to remove the toxin of comparison and focus your energy inward. 3 principles to break free from the comparison trap. Limit the feed, amplify the focus. If scrolling makes you feel less, you're poisoning your mindset daily. Take control of your environment. Follow what inspires growth, not insecurity. Journal your own wins. Keep a record, not of what others are doing, but of how you are improving. Your habits. Your discipline. Your courage. Track your own metrics. Ask the Stoic question, what am I in control of? You can't control someone else's path, success, or timing. But you can control how you use your 24 hours. And that's where your power is. You were not born to live someone else's life. You were born to master your own. Comparison is noise. And you're here for signal. For clarity. For inner excellence. Let others have their spotlight. You build your fire quietly, and when it burns, they'll feel it. Because the Stoic doesn't look sideways. He looks inward. Conclusion, build the Stoic fortress within. The world will keep testing you. There will be insults. Delays. Rejections. Unfairness. Pain. But now you are not the same. You've built something few men ever do, a Stoic fortress within. You have the invisible shield to deflect judgment and negativity. You master silence, speaking only when it serves truth and strength. You practice disdain, ignoring what does not deserve your energy. You hold the unshakable horizon, knowing that storms pass and perspective calms. You release the weight of expectation, choosing action over outcome. You embrace the power of cold, training through discomfort, building resilience. You master the value of indifference, refusing to take anything personally. And above all, you reject the poison of comparison, staying loyal to your own path. These are not theories. These are weapons. Practices. Codes of honor. Stoicism is not about becoming emotionless, it's about becoming unbreakable. So here's your challenge. Pick one principle from this video. Apply it today. Not tomorrow. Today. Wake up early and take a cold shower. Pause before responding to a disrespectful comment. Fast. Say nothing when someone tries to provoke you. Ignore the feed. Open your journal. Question your thoughts. Start building the man you were meant to be, calm, disciplined, powerful. Leave a comment. Which of these Stoic practices do you need the most right now? Subscribe for more content like this, because you're not just watching videos. You're forging a philosophy. And share this with someone who needs to hear it. A brother, a friend, a man who's ready to rise. Remember, you are not what happens to you. You are how you respond. Be silent. Be still. Be sovereign. Build your fortress, brick by brick, day by day. And let the world watch you rise.